Let's discuss best dances in K-pop. Saying blank is the best dancer in K-pop can get you a one-way ticket to cancellation amongst K-pop fans. It's a sensitive topic since everyone wants their idol to be considered the best. Hell, even I want that for my idol. But I've come to notice how toxic it can be and how this marketing ploy is playing straight into the pockets of these companies. Now, the best dancer isn't necessarily their group's main dancer to some K-pop fans. They don't have to be the main, but are still commonly known amongst many fandoms for their quote-unquote god-tier dancing. People like Seulgi, Momo, Lisa, Chaeyoung, Yeji, Mia, and Karina are pretty popular female main dancers. They've been given their position by their company due to their skill when it comes to dancing. Famous lead female dancers would be Irene, Ryujin, Yuna, Yeon, Chui, and Winter. These girls were also appointed a dance position due to their skills but weren't deemed to be the main dancer in the group. These two positions have been decided, but it hasn't stopped fans from pushing others into positions that weren't given to them at debut. People like Jihyo, Joy, Jennie, and Xian are subjected to this treatment. They are praised by mostly non-dancers for their abilities on stage, and are often used as pawns to question the ability of the true main dancer. These girls are almost always fan favorites in the group, and this causes the second main dancer to be overlooked, if they have one. EU and Mina are prime examples of this phenomenon. The same thing occurs with famous male main dancers, those being Jimin, Kai, Taeyong, Ten, and Taemin. They are amazing at what they do, and so are the lead dancers, Haechan, Jungkook, Taehyung, Sehun, and Key. Then there are main dancers appointed by fans, but somehow compared to girl groups stans I have found less in boy groups. These people are San, Bacon, Suho, and Chanyeol, but they still don't get as much push as the women in this category. Then there are the underappreciated second main dancers Jisung, Winwon, Lay, and Ho-suk. Between the two almost the same rhetoric is applied. However, there is a noticeable difference that banks on the very relationships of girl group fans and boy group fans and their idols. The majority of K-pop fans are girls, or women, and that's a non-starter. It's like that for almost every music genre. The girl fans are who buy the albums, and are who proudly rock the merchandise. This is also why boy groups usually have a better time in the music industry than girl groups. All you gotta do is get together some attractive boys and the girls will follow. These companies follow this rhetoric to a T. Girl groups are used as role models and these female fans live through them. In turn, girl groups have a lot more going for them and a lot to lose. Unlike male groups, they don't have a fanbase that's usually sexually attracted to them, to the point that they'll forgive some of their previous mistakes. This is double standards at its finest. Because of this, these fans obviously move very differently from each other when it comes to their idols. Boy group stans are described to be more hungry, more lustful, and yearning. While girl group stans are described to be more protective, more expectational. These values that they cherish then turn into an obsession that is different from each other, due to the differing source that caused it, but it's still there. While boy group stans form more of a lustful and sexual obsession over their idols, girl group stans tend to live through their idols. It's shown with the obvious gap between the self-inserted main dancers between the sexes. Girl groups have more fans that will fight for things like this. Boy group stans are more likely to fight over awards or looks in general. These girl group stans living through their idols cause the influx of solo stans to rise even more. And companies know this. Companies like YG directly feed into this narrative to get their groups to another level of popularity and fandom worship that others could never imagine. An example is Blackpink, and it clearly works, so people like SM take it to the next level with his new girl group aespa. The sad part is that these fans who down talk said companies are the same ones playing right into their pockets. Notice how the idols that I listed who are often inserted into the dance line, almost all have a ridiculous amount of solo stans. They are one of the most popular, if not the popular member. It's not like this for any reason. It's a clear-cut marketing ploy. Some companies like YG started this from the get-go, but others like JYP are only starting to play into it. Twice as Jihyo is an example of that. JYP couldn't give less of a fuck about her until she got a boost in fans. Now he wants her to have a bigger role. Or maybe that was the plan all along. The classic underdog story. They were at the bottom, constantly ridiculed for things like their weight or skills. And then a spurge in confidence sparked in them to be the beast they are today. God, Jihyo. Or maybe I'm just overlooking things. However, the point still stands. K-pop girl group fans are becoming more prone to throwing certain objective traits out the window because they take every jab personally. These appointed dances are called appointed dances for a reason. Yes, they might have improved since debut, but they still aren't technically at the top to be considered the main. These appointed dances are what I would call showy dances. They are performers, not dancers. But that can be said about any idol, so I'll phrase it differently. Since their technique isn't clear-cut, they rely on energy, an explosion, a wow factor, to make it seem better than it is. Their facial expressions hype up the dance even more, and make the technicality seem like it isn't as important as it should be. Notice how all of the girl group examples I gave are described as sexy on stage, or energetic. There is no in-between. Fans of male and female groups will hear 1 ounce of praise and run with it. You guys know nothing about dance, and neither do I, so why are we appointing people in a topic we clearly aren't educated on? That's like a math teacher grading an English essay. Those are 2 different fields and neither are qualified enough to talk on either subject. That's how some of you should look at dance. And since none of you know what you're talking about, you undermine those who actually should deserve the hype, and the one dancers have praised constantly. This is shown in the list of second main dances I said earlier in the video having less attention. It's sad, really. I don't know who needs to tell you this, but dance isn't subjective. Yes, you can have a favorite dancer, but when it comes to technique there are some rules to follow. You can't say, yes, they don't extend their arms fully, but they're still better at doing that move than someone who does extend their arms fully. It makes no sense whatsoever. Just say that y'all are living through your idols and go. It's pretty obvious due to how protective you get over them for the smallest things. Why do you take every critique an idol is given to heart? They are not talking to you, it does not pertain you, so why are you taking it so personally? Especially when it is from a dancer themselves. They know what they are talking about. It's clear as day that some of you have this fantasy of being an idol, and live through your own. This is how ships usually occur. You like a male idol, so you ship your favorite female idol together with him. And since you see yourself in that female idol, you want everything about her to be perfect to quote-unquote attract that male idol. That's how the whole best dancer title stems from, for some of you. To you, your idol being named the best dancer is like you being named the best yourselves. How can't you see that you are getting bamboozled? And the companies love it cause all it does is rack them up even more bank. You're getting delusional. Come on now. You need to go outside and breathe some fresh air cause it's getting out of hand. Pet a dog, roll in some grass, watch paint dry for all I care. There is no real best dancer at this point cause in the end none of y'all actually cared about the title to begin with.